Hi everyone, it's Damien for another video. So on this one, I'm just going to continue where I was. So, like I said in the previous video, and the previous one before, I was building an app which is called CAD for Collaborative Action Tool. Like it's written right here. Here is the repository on GitHub. This is my profile, by the way. Just doing some promotion here. And so yeah, on last video, um, I did show you how to sort of scaffold the project, I mean the task or an action, so which is basically what the app would be about, and the reason why it's called uh, CAT or Collaborative Actions 2 is because it will not only be a to-do list app, but it will be a sort of fancy to-do list app. I will try to bring some features that will make it more than a to-do list. So on the last video, like I said, I was talking about how to scaffold a project. On the previous one, I did show you how to set up a Rails project, which was this project actually. I'm just going to show you how the app is at the moment, but I guess you remember. And on this video, I'm trying to make it a little bit better, a little bit prettier, because the user interface is not that great at the moment. But I'm fine with that. I mean, I'm already happy with what Rails allow me to do. Only with that. So I'm just going to show you. So there is two actions or two to-do list or two tasks. I was call it actions. I don't know why. It's probably because of my work. Because we talk and work. We talk more about action. What's the action we have to do to make this and that happen or whatever. So that's why I call it actions. So I'm going to use Bootstrap to actually make the app look better. Bootstrap is actually a framework, a UI framework, which allow you to sort of bring user interface components into your app using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. And in order to not really sort of have a really hard time putting it into my project, integrated into my project, I'm going to use a gem, which has been developed by other developers, which are using Bootstrap as well. A gem is actually a library. It's like a piece of software put together to directly inject into your project, so you don't have to write code to make it work. You will probably write some code, but the code will be just HTML and CSS part, maybe a little bit of JavaScript. But if you had to directly integrate Bootstrap without this library, actually, it will be a lot harder. So this gem is actually something put together for you to just get into your project, and then you're good to go and use the features of the framework or the components of this framework. So we're just going to follow this sort of tutorial here, those directives here. So we put that line into the gem file. So the gem file is actually a file where you can list out all the libraries that you will be using. Then make sure you have sprockets Rails. Okay, so I think no, I don't. I think I used that before into my thing. He was probably, what's the project? It was probably this one. I don't know. I mean, one of the last that I did. If I look at into the gem file, I will see. Yeah, here we go. I will use that gem as well. I never really know what he's been doing, so it's actually a good time to look what that gem is about. Because I used it, but without really, knowing what it was for. Oh, now I remember asset packaging system. So basically, Sportcat is a Ruby library for compiling and serving web assets. Okay, so basically something to sort of put together your asset, and by assets I mean like images, videos, audios, or any kind of stuff like that. Um, so now I'm just going to continue with that, and so the next step would be to do a bundle install. The thing is, when you actually modify this file, you have to stop the server, because I actually don't know why, but it is the way it is. You have to stop the server to make it take into account that, okay, you are using this gem now. I guess because if I didn't stop it, I think the server will not be aware that, okay, there is something wrong I should be using. I mean, there is something new I should be using, but so that's why I guess we have to stop it. So everything is up to date. Um, I'm not going to lie, I did that before running this video, but my QuickTime sort of stopped, so that's why I'm starting over. Um, so now, what is the next step? Okay, so I have to import that into the still sheet, which is somewhere right here, I guess. I think, yeah. So it's actually here, but the thing is, okay, so you can see, so my file is actually called application CSS, and their file is actually called application SCSS, so that means using probably SAS. So I'm just going to rename it into that, and available variable can be found here. Make sure the file has a .css and how's the SAS syntax. Okay, that's what I was talking about. Then. Okay, so I import that file. This line, sorry. And Bootstrap JavaScript dependent. Okay, so I have to also use jQuery. jQuery is another sort of user interface framework. So it's a JavaScript framework, and it's actually help you to sort of have, let's say, animation and more, sexier thing than just pure HTML and CSS. So here is telling me had Bootstrap dependencies to that. Okay. To application GS. Well, where is my GS stuff? I think it's, where is it? I think there used to have a file. Not sure, but or maybe it's here. I mean, okay, so here I have, Oh, I only have three things here. I'm kind of confused because I think there used to be an application CSS file, GS file, sorry, but either I can't find it or consumer. Oh, here we go. Find it. I mean, I think it's. Uh, looks like it's different from what I used to have. Like if I look, sorry for the noise, it's just my brother talking very loud. So if you're hearing some noise, it's just my brother. So sorry about that. Let's dig into the previous project. So there was a file called. Yeah, that's all the thing I wanna. It looks like it's different now. I'm not sure it's gonna work, but let's try it. Because it's probably because of the setup. Because the setup is actually, I mean, the project is actually made with Rails 6. So that's probably sort of another way of doing it. But let's keep going and see what's going to happen. While you may, okay, so fine. So now, I mean, you remember how the, oh, sorry. You remember how the app looks like? Look at the I don't know how to say that. The, I mean, the way it's written, like, I don't know how to say it in English. Forgot. And now, hopefully, it will look a little bit better by using this Bootstrap framework. Just 2 seconds. So let's see, let's refresh it. So look very carefully how the content, I mean, how it's written, and look how it will be written in a few seconds if it works, if it has worked. So let's see. Hopefully. Come on, man. Come on. My computer is so slow. Sorry about that. Come on. Don't have a lot to. Oh, you see the difference. It's actually the way it's written is better. I'm not saying the app is better, right? So now I guess I can use a component of the Bootstrap stuff. So I'm just going to I'm going to close that because I don't really need it at the moment. I'm done with that. I'm done with that too, and that as well actually. Um, so I mean the way that the project, a race project, is actually structured is that you will have pretty much everything, every folders related to your sort of, let's say, models. If you scaffold it, right? So we create a model called task, which is the action, and then you will have where is it? Let's close some stuff. So you'll have the views, you will have the models, and you will have the controllers. So remember that Ruby is actually an MVC framework for model views controller. And you will have a task controller, you will have the views related to those tasks, and you will have obviously some models that we created before. But now what I'm looking into, what I'm interested in, is to um, modify the views. And I'm interested in a particular view, which is the index, because this is where the all the tasks are showing up. If you look into the controller, you remember that I said every sort of action into the controller, or every method into the controller, is actually a view related to that. So when you clicking on a link on the web page, the controller, you're going to hit the controller. The controller is going to know which action to trigger because of the URL that will be into the browser, and that will be the route I was talking about previously. Those route, actually, those files, you can't really see it, but actually if it was written completely, you will have a create, you'll have a show, new, edit, create, I mean all those stuff. This is sort of a shortcut for it. Rather than writing everything, you write just the resources that you want to have, and you will have other method or action for these resources. So, and then when the controller knows which method to trigger, so it will be this one, for example, and it will get into, you will talk to the database and say, okay, give me all the tags there is, all the tasks there are, and then showing up into uh, the view. And if you look at carefully, you will see that this method has actually the same name as the view. And this is how you can actually know that this particular action is related to that particular view. So for example, if I change that view now, for example, I don't know, let's say um, I put this 3s, and I refresh, I will have 3s written here. Okay, so that was sort of an explanation of how, a little bit an explanation of how the framework is actually working. It's not an in-depth explanation, but you have a better, sort of, hopefully a better understanding of it. So now I'm gonna use a table. So a table is actually, I mean, basically it's a table. It's a HTML component. I'm actually going to research it because I don't know where they are. So this is what a table is, just that. And there is, there is a table already actually, but it's not, let's say, in the Bootstrap fashion. So you're going to use that class. The class is basically a style, which is defined into that Bootstrap framework. And a class is like it's really a style. It's something saying that, okay, this is how the HTML or table should look like. And then I think there is rows. There is that. I don't know why there is. Oh, okay. Scope row. I never knew what this mean. I mean the scope stuff, but let's talk about that later, and let's see. Let's do a refresh to see how. So you see, it's actually a lot more better right now. So I'm going to just remove that because I don't have that. Now let's say that I want. Well, I will not do that now, but I mean maybe. I wanted to replace those, link with images. but I'm not sure Bootstrap has images anymore. It's not really images, but it's like icon. I'm not sure there is icon anymore into Bootstrap. Yeah, and the last time I used that, I used that website. But I'm not going to do that now because it's another topic, let's say. So I think for now we kind of good. What I can do to sort of improve it, maybe I can use actually a layout for, because you can see that the pages is actually taking the whole screen, right? So it's not really, I want to have some margin here and margin here. So I'm gonna use a layout, and I'm going to do that very soon. Just going to find out, I think it's, I don't know if it's container or if it's something else. Overview, what is that? Let's see. Component maybe, or content. So let's see, you have content, your form, no, it's not. Content maybe. And there is something called, it's not really layout, but it's like, I'm gonna put a header actually, and I think the header is part of the layout. Not sure, but there is something, not navbar, yeah, there is something like that. And then when you have all of that, so let's add the header actually to see what's going on, to see how it's gonna work. I'm just going to do some stuff like that, not any, very sort of fancy stuff, but just normal header, just like, I don't know, the black one is actually nice. So let's add this one. I don't really need all of that, I just need something really simple here. So let's use this one. So you see there is some stuff actually already written for you, you just have to copy paste it. And I could actually do that. It would be way more easier. So still in the views, there is a file called application HTML, and this is basically the layout of the whole application. So this is where you're gonna set up the layout for your application, basically how it's gonna look overall. So I think it's there. I'm not sure this is where I should have put it, but I think it's there. So you have to put it into the body of the HTML page. And now if I refresh, yeah, I have my theme. I'm not going to sort of, I have that, but I think there is a way to, I think it was layout actually, and I was right. If you do the layout stuff, so you can see that, I mean, I just put together the how to say, the header, sorry for taking so long for saying it. And now I want to put the content here, and I think with that I'll be good. Yeah, this is what I want you to do, basically. So I'm just going to put those stuff here later. I'm just going to change maybe like not navbar, but I'm going to call it how to say it. I'm going to call it cat. Sorry. Um, Pricing features. Yeah, I might have a thing called features. Then home. I don't really need home because the cat will be the home thing. And but yeah, just keep it that way, and everything is actually sort of a little bit better. What else? For example, I can actually change that as well. I can make it look a little bit better. So I'm going into the new, because this is where you actually, it's not into the new, but it's actually into the form. I mean, the new is actually using the form, right? If you look at this line right here, basically this this web page is actually rendering this sort of small web page, which is called a partial. You can see that it is a partial because there is an underscore before the name, and that's how you call your partial in general as a rule into Rails. And you say, okay, on the new page, on this page, I want to render my partial, which is called form. So if I look here and I look into Bootstrap, so you see Bootstrap is very, very useful. You have component, sorry, and then you will be able to have forms stuff, and you will have a lot of, let's say, a lot of things already done for you. So that's actually very, very great. So you have the label, you don't need that. So if you just change the class, I think it should be fine. But I'm not sure because I think there was a trick with that. Because I think that you have to define that class into a particular file into the Rails project, but I'm not sure. Let's see. That's actually not. It's actually nice, but I don't really need content. Well, well, the thing is, I don't really need. Oh, maybe actually it's probably not there. It might be like that. I'm not sure. Let's see what's happening. Yes, this is the way I want it. So I'm just going to copy paste that, and you will see that things are already better, a lot more better actually. Here we go. It's not really the best way I can do it, but you can see that the app is actually getting better and better. So if I do a new task, I have the content, I have the label. A label is like a tag, it's not really a label. I'm sort of confused with that, but let's see. And here, I don't know how to sort of put it together. I think I can keep it that way so far. I mean, it's not, there's nothing to show off, like, can put maybe something sort of fancy just to show you how to use Bootstrap. Probably, yeah, maybe that, or maybe very something very like very. I mean, I've seen one before previously, but I just want to. Yeah, it might be something like that actually. might be, and I might just use a gray, or maybe this one. This one is actually cool. Like the third. 1, 2, 3. I think it's that one. So I'm just going to modify that, and that will be it for tonight, I think, because after that the video will be too long. So if you go into the show, you will have a bunch of methods, have headers, and the title will be, what would it be? The title, no, the header. The header will be, I don't know if the header should be, yeah, it should be the, I mean, let's actually try it that way, just without, okay. So, let's say the header will be as a label. So let's put that here. And let's say that the content will be this. Cut title, oh no. Cut title, yeah, this is where the content will go. And title will be, I don't know whether it's done or not. It doesn't really make sense, but not really that, but just completed. Let's see. Contract creation done. I don't know, maybe shouldn't be that actually, because the content. Maybe I should reverse it. Maybe, I mean, I don't know. Let's put no title for the moment. I really don't know. What's Bootstrap has like other component, other stuff you can put into this card. Group. Let's say action title. Alright, let's keep it that way. And let's get rid of that. Oh, let's doesn't make sense when you read it. Doesn't make sense at all. So let's put it that way. Let's try. So after that, guys, I'm going to stop. Sorry, I'm going to do fancy stuff here, but it will not actually matter at that moment, because I know that so that's fine. So just wanted to show you how to use Bootstrap. So I think I'm good with that now. And now if you're going back and you do edit, so edit is actually better. Destroy, just destroy it. And I think we're good, sort of. I mean, it could be a lot of better, but I think, should I? Okay, I think let's keep it that way. Thank you. I'm just going to commit, stop everything. So this is basically how to use Bootstrap. So I'm taking, I took a little bit of time, but basically you just add the gems, those gems into those file, into this gem file. Then you do the configuration stuff into the where was it, into the asset folder where you'll have that to import. Then you'll go into the JavaScript stuff and you will add that. I'm not sure this is working because I have to try some, animated stuff to really see if it's working. And that's it. After that, you start using those components, and it's pretty much easy, right? Alright guys, thank you for watching and see you on the next video. I'm just going to comment first, git status. I'm just gonna add all of that, git add, I think it was this one, git commit, basically how to, set bootstrap into the project. So it looks, I don't really need that because Bootstrap is actually to make things look better. And I'm going to push that git push origin master. Just going to make sure that everything has been pushed, but it should be fine. And after that, I'd be great for this video. Just update it. So let's commit. Set Bootstrap. Okay, cool. Guys, thank you for watching. See you on the next video. Bye bye. Bye. Take care.